So the question of the day actually came yesterday from colleague, an acquaintance of mine in a Facebook group, and she was thinking she needed an accountant. So she's looking for accounting recommendations. And then when she was listing off the things she needed, not all of them are accounting things. So I thought I'd share today what the actual difference is between an accountant and a bookkeeper, because there's lots of overlap, but there are some real distinctions on each one side of the other as to what, the strengths and the weaknesses can be, and it can be inherent to the person, not necessarily the designation of or the name of what they do. So I want to start with number one is the first thing. If you're going to go looking for an accountant or a bookkeeper, be really sort of have some idea of what you're looking for. Have a list of things you want them to help you with, because Kat was great. She came to me and she said, well, I said, what are you needing? And she came back and said, I need this, 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 and this, and this. And I said, great, because now that you've given me the list, I can see I can totally help you with 4 out of 5 of these things. The one other thing, you probably will better served with an accountant. So to give you an idea of some of the pieces that, as a bookkeeper and a tax preparer, so I've got lots of extra knowledge versus just a typical bookkeeper that just does data entry, right? Because I do the full gamut of tax returns. So the pieces that she came to me is going like, I need help learning how to get my software to work. The person I had hired to do my bookkeeping has disappeared. I need to be able to deal with this and I need some help with it, right? So how do I get the training? So absolutely, you probably don't want to pay an accountant to do that. And number 2, how to get it automated. Again, probably not an accountant you want to pay for that. That is not usually their skill set. Some are. There are some fabulous ones that I've met in the online space that are totally great with this. But typically in the non-online space and in a lot of the online space even, that's not their forte. So for an accountant, just to make it really clear, is they're there to do the planning and the big picture. And again, a lot of good bookkeepers can do this for you. They can give you some really amazing advice. They can get you pointed in the right direction. They can get you set up. But if they're not saying to you, hey, when you've got multiple businesses, or you're starting into a new partnership, or you're going to take on other people into your business, and they're not saying to you, hey, you probably should go talk to an accountant, as well as, I'll give you what I think, but you also will be served to do that, then you got to be careful about the person that's not sending you. Because that's what accountants are for. They're there to have all that background knowledge of the different business structures, how they're set up, how they work best for you to save you taxes, to just make your business run better and smarter and more efficiently. So basically the bookkeeper is there for your day-to-day, is there to get your system set up, is there to teach you, train you, help you, to walk you through issues with your billing, with your client expenses, with tracking your income, with tracking your expenses, with all of those kind of things, right? That's what they're good for, and that's what they're fabulous for. And definitely usually at a lower price point. An accountant is there that you probably would want to go see them when things are changing, or you need corporate taxes done. Again, I do a small amount of corporate taxes, not many, because it's not my strong suit, right? It needs to go to an accountant most of the time because that's their strong suit. So that whole piece of an accountant is to go there and say, hey, I'm looking at changing my business. I'm growing. I have got so much going on. I've hit over $100,000, $50,000 in revenue, and I'm paying too much in tax. Like, what do we do next? That's the kind of pieces that you would want to go to an accountant for. That's what they're qualified for, right? To be able to set you up in different business entities or different tax scenarios, different ways of taking money out of the business so you're not paying as much tax, ways to split it between spouses, between family members, hiring, like there's all sorts of those pieces. So in general, the rule of thumb is the accountant is sort of the big overseer, the big picture person that puts the really big mechanics of your business together in the big picture piece. And then the bookkeeper from there brings it all together, makes it all happen, does it day to day, keeps you in line, keeps the day-to-day stuff going, gives you reports that allow you to move forward in your business in a weekly, daily, monthly basis. Typically, you should have both in your team. You should have an accountant that you trust and that you feel great about. You should have a bookkeeper that you really get along well, because you're going to, in theory, should be spending a long time in and out and interacting with them, just because of the nature of your business, if you're on top of it. So I hope that helps give you a little bit of considerations, but if you need any more help with that, feel free to pop a question in the comments. I haven't done a lot of Facebook Lives lately, so I'm not sure how to see the comments yet. But I'll check after I'm done, and if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer them or stick them in after, and I'll be back in there to do it. I've got a blog post that's dropping sometime this week that has some more details about all of this, and I'll pop it in here after so you can get that link if you need more information. Thanks so much for joining, and next week I'll have a new question and a new tip based on whatever comes up this week. Cheers. Thanks for watching.